and welcome. What a beautiful evening. This is my favorite night of the year to honor these incredible educators. So, welcome to our 2025 Golden Apple Awards for Teaching and Leading Fellows. To all of our fellows, to our guests, the Golden Apple staff and board members, associate board members, these are the 40th annual Golden Apple Awards for Excellence in Teaching and Leading. And you know, I'd be remiss tonight if I did not recognize that none of this would happen were it not for Mike and his late wife, Pat Koldyke. Mike is here in the front today, so please give this up for Mike. As many of you have heard, probably many times by now, this started when they were watching the Academy Awards. And Pat turned to Mike and said, those should be teachers up there. That teachers need to be honored in the same way that we honor actors, and paid the same too. And for 40 years, great educators such as you have been recognized for the work you do day in and day out for the service of children across our state. Now, there is a little difference between acting and teaching. Some people may think that teachers are on stage, but you know what? Actors study lines. They have multiple opportunities to cut, to reshoot. But teachers, school leaders, they come in with lesson plans, ideas for the school year that may or may not be followed based on what happened in the school or the community that day. You have to improvise. You have to find moments to show empathy, compassion, to joke, to challenge, to affirm. All of this in the moment as you read the room of your students, all while you are ensuring that they are building the academic and technical skills to collaborate, to thrive, and to grow. And you don't get cuts and retakes. If something goes wrong, you adapt on the spot. You keep the scene going because you must. You are not acting. You are doing every day. Actors have nothing on these recipients of Mike and Pat's vision. And these great educators, much like actors, have a community. And last night, in a much more informal setting, the Academy, so those recipients of the award from years past, fellows, teachers of distinction, leaders of distinction, welcomed this new group into the community with a pinning ceremony. It's a way to make you know that you are now part of this and that we are going to rely on you. Yes, we know teaching is difficult. That is why community is vital for inspiring others to go into the profession that you do to change lives every day. And yes, part of that means some of you were hit up pretty hard last night by our mentoring team, by the Scholar Institute team, because we want you to come in and help us prepare that next generation of teachers. And earlier tonight, just talking to one of our recipients with her teacher who had won the Golden Apple Award years before, we know that great teachers inspire the next generation of scholars and accelerators to go into this profession. So to our 13 fellows, yes, 13, it's a little weird this year. There's a reason for that. 11 teachers and 2 school leaders. This is your evening. While you often work in your classrooms in anonymity, except of course for the clear impact you have on your students, this is an opportunity for you to step into the spotlight and shine on your grace, your value, and your power. Congratulations to you and to all those who love and support you. You are golden. At this point, I would like to welcome up for Lawrence Bass, a member of the Golden Apple Board of Directors, to offer a welcome from the board. Lawrence?
Nobody does it better.
That's for you. Nobody does this better. And the truth of the matter, thank you, Alan. Thank you, board. Thank you all for coming here. This is an honor for me. Honored to be here amongst those who map the future of greatness for that which is to come. Thank you for what you have done, and I want to thank you in advance for what you're going to do. A little bit of background. I didn't think I was going to live to be 18, and for sure if I did, I probably was going to end up working at the used car lot where my dad did. But two teachers who went unsung, unrecognized, like many of you, most of you, pretty much all of the time, saw something that I had zero clue about, none whatsoever. And Mr. Brown said, "You're going to be an engineer." And I thought, wow, driving a train, that beats washing cars. And he said, and you're going to go to MIT. And I said, am I who? Am I what? And he said, don't worry about it. Do what I tell you. It's going to work out. It did. I stand before you as the creation of those two teachers who saw something I had no idea, didn't know how to approach, didn't know what it was good for. I mean, completely clueless, but they saw it all. I suspect you are the next generation, or probably second or third generation, of those people. You throw lightning bolts and pop people out of whatever they were in, like me, into something like this. This is astounding what you do. I want to personally thank you for what you are about to do for those like me who you are about to transform into the next great things and people who are going to save us all. It is, like Alan said, it's not easy what you do. The script, that's just when you walked in the door. Also, like you, I flunked retirement at one point, went into the classroom, and I know what you do. I know what you have to go through to pull this off. And the fact that you do it with grace and style and hellified results is amazing. From the bottom of my heart, from the top of my soul, from my whole essence, I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and congratulations. Please keep it up so that we all can come back and have more and save us all, please. Thank you.
Good evening, invited guests. Welcome. As a 2014 fellow, I am truly humbled to be the one who introduces you to tonight's honorees who teach while exemplifying excellence. So let's not belabor and let's meet our first group of honorees.
I am a high school agriculture educator at Kewanee High School.
I am the engineering and robotics teacher and robotics mentor at Lindblom Math and Science Academy.
I'm a precision manufacturing teacher. I teach students how to make things out of metal.
We're rural, but less than 1.5% of my students have any production ag in their family. They quite literally don't know where their food comes from. This is a second career for me. So I went to corporate agriculture for several years, and then as life would have it, just lots of things transpired to remind me that I had more to give, and I wanted to make a bigger impact with 24 hours in my own community.
You know, you start off with a block of metal, cut away everything, and all of a sudden you've got a mold or a tool or, you know, an engine component or something like that. We have students making chess pieces right now. We have students making molds for a torsion buffer in a prosthetic limb. We're sending to Alabama for production. So they're going to produce parts out of the molds that we're making here. And they like to make things like that, and I like supporting that. Programs like this had all but disappeared from Illinois schools in the 90s. Computer labs were becoming the force to be reckoned with.
You are helping point a direction of a student. You're hopefully opening up opportunity, and that's really hard to measure.
The students come out better because of what we do. The biggest thing I'm trying to do is publicize the program. It's very, very unusual, and it's not well known. And our teacher shortage is dire, especially like in areas like this. Finding a new teacher is often what makes or breaks a program.
Nick and I, you are 2025 recipient of the Golden Apple Award for Excellence in Teaching.
Switching careers was a $50,000 pay cut. That is not tenable. How do we invest in teachers to give them more options of what they can do with their classes? How do we convince more people who are not teachers that it's worth coming and doing?
We're very proud of what we get to do and expose students to because of where we are and what we can be for them. So I work as a mentor teacher in our school district. I welcome other teachers to come be in my space. I want to go to their spaces. Like, I'm a coach at heart, and so whether that's teaching my students the confidence building or a fellow educator how to be confident in what they do, who wins in all of those scenarios? The student.
Winning this award, I think the biggest thing I'm trying to do is publicize the program and publicize that it's a vibrant way for students to add a little extra something to their educational day.
Now that I've won the Golden Apple, I think it'll affect some of the students. They can take so much pride in it. It is a communal effort, right? And so the students, in this case, have won in the same way that I have.
The check might say Kendra, but Golden Apple happened because I'm here.
I'm excited about being able to be a part of that, to hopefully inspire and work with other teachers to make it work better.
Thank you, Golden Apple, for making this happen and giving us a chance to celebrate.
Please welcome to the stage our first honoree, Kendra Callahan.
I believe that learning should be authentic, and sometimes that means messy. My first memory of learning came at the age 5, after a Saturday morning Casey's donut run. While my dad grabbed the goods, I climbed into the driver's seat to pretend and accidentally rolled into a brand new trailer. Thankfully, my grandpa owned that trailer, and he gave me tremendous grace. My parents gave me strict instructions that I was to go to Sally's preschool and share the lesson that I learned during show and tell. Now, as a teacher, I tell my students that we have 3 goals: have fun, be adaptable and flexible, and remember to positively represent more than ourselves. Being named a Golden Apple met each of those goals. It reflects the work we do to grow leaders, build community, and strengthen the future for each of our learners. I have been super impressed by the entire process, from the initial nomination to hearing how others saw something worth celebrating. It's been beautiful. The pride in my students, has been the most rewarding. All of it almost beautiful enough to make me regret what 5-year-old Kendra said on that Monday morning when I walked to the front of my class. I took a deep breath and I started show and tell with, "You are never going to believe what my sister did this weekend." Thank you, truly. This has been an incredible honor.
Please welcome to the stage our next recipient, Nick Anaya.
So when I told my wife I was thinking about switching careers from being a project engineer to doing teaching, I also mentioned, hey, it'll also be a big pay change. And she said, do what makes you happy. So big round of applause to her. And so for 9 years, we've assembled a wonderful team of the best engineering, CS, and robotics mentors in all around. So they are really, really wonderful. Please give them a round of applause. And so, just to make it short and sweet, thank you so much, Golden Apple, and all of you for being here. And biggest thanks to the students at Lidblum, because they're building robots that are going to rule the world.
Now I'd like to welcome Matt Urbach to the stage.
Thank you so much. I'm incredibly honored to receive the Golden Apple Award. As a career and tech education teacher, it means the world for me to see that CTE is represented and celebrated in this way. This award is giving a voice to a new generation of teachers like me who believe that learning by doing, whether that's machining a part, wiring a circuit, designing a product, can change lives. I'm grateful to my students, to my colleagues, and to the community who remind me every day why this work matters. Thank you for recognizing the power of hands-on education and the potential that it locks in every learner.
All right, everyone, time to meet our next group of recipients. Let's take a look.
I'm Erin Clifford. I teach child development 1, 2, teaching as a profession, teaching in diverse society, and they're all dual credit courses. We have what we would call, it's our Little Raiders preschool lab. So when you have a lab in a high school setting, we are license exempt, and that allows us to do a lot of different things with the preschoolers in this setting. The unique thing about having a lab in a high school is that it offers students that want to be teachers in the future the opportunity to get that hands-on experience. The preschool lab, it's a learning lab, and I think that our program has grown because of seeing the preschoolers all around the building. We need to be honest, but we have to show them that there's such beauty in what we do and getting to connect with children, young adults, and families.
I'm Karen Engelman. I teach Family and Consumer Sciences at Cobden High School.
Karen Engelman!
My Family and Consumer Sciences teacher in high school, Carrie Garrett, and I just thought it was so fun doing all of the real world hands-on things. And she offered kind of like a child care practicum where we would get to go to the elementary or local daycares and get real world experience, and then also come back to her class and learn about it. If I love my job so much, then they could love teaching as well. And that's why I'm really proud of my future teacher program that I have here. When they can get in there and see that they can do it and how much fun it is, then that can inspire them to go ahead and major in college and then eventually address the teacher shortage. I am so proud, actually my very first student who went through my education pathway and graduated high school in 2022, he just got hired for his first teaching position at Giant City Elementary. So I just addressed the teacher shortage, my first one, so I'm excited.
Tim Oberly. I teach high school English language arts and social studies. From Prairie Central High School, where I graduated in Fairbury, Illinois, I had Clark Chaplin, who was a favorite social studies teacher of mine. Dana Convery, who taught me in English, Ruth Getchis, Kara Sweet, who was a foreign language teacher who inspired me through her demeanor. So many teachers. I firmly believe that we are a product of the people that we are around. And I am just another part of all the teachers I had at Prairie Central that shaped me and nursed me into being who I am. If I can continue to be an inspiration and an encouragement and a motivating force for the people around me, then that's my role in the chain.
Teacher shortage is real, everywhere. Back in the day, 10 or 15 years ago, being so close to SIU, we could have like 50 applicants for a position, and then now recently, we're lucky to get 5.
I've been teaching for almost 20 years, so I've seen a lot of fluctuation in starting out my career and not really being able to find a job because so many people were applying for jobs, to now we're trying to recruit good, solid role models for our students. I'm trying to do what I can on my end to push more students into a career if I see that spark in them.
That need to pass the torch to the next generation who are thinking about maybe kind of sort of becoming a teacher. I see that as being my football field, my baseball field, my extracurricular area that over the years, hopefully I can be a source of support and kind of lean into that direction.
When I first came to the district, we were not official partners with Golden Apple, and I said, well, that's strange and crazy. How can we fix that? Eventually, we became official partners of Golden Apple, and that helps students that apply for Golden Apple. They're able to skip past one of the rounds of interviews. And just every year, we have more and more Golden Apple scholars, and I'm so proud of the growth of the program and of our students, and hopefully their future students will be teachers as well. And then I think the other school districts that those kids go into, then we can all partner together as one big family supporting the next generation.
Golden Apple looked like an organization that can not only facilitate growth and nurture that and mold its participants into being leaders and being mentors and being those positive influences. That was definitely something I wanted to lean into and give back to the profession that can mean so much, can literally mean the world to those who come into contact with.
Let's welcome our next 2025 fellow, Erin Clifford, to the stage.
Here we go. Hopefully I don't stutter or anything. The classroom has always been a safe space for me, no matter what. Sitting down at a desk, organizing a list, grading a paper, putting like my favorite pens in like color-coded order, it's always made sense to me. I have had several wonderful teachers who they really saw that girl in the corner, trying her hardest not to be noticed, but wanting to be seen just for who she was. And they made all the difference in my life. It has been my honor to be that for the amazingly complex, misunderstood, hilarious, surprising, and everything in between students that I've had in my care the past 19 years. Their faces and their names, they come to me in moments of happiness and sadness. I see them even when they don't realize, and I cheer them on in my heart and in my soul for years after they exit my classroom, just as I know my teachers have for me. I know that God has put me on earth for many things, but for one of the most important reasons was to walk alongside my students, never behind, but never in front, but alongside. I often scoff when a student, years after I've taught them, refuses to call me by my first name. But as I grow, we're getting old, aren't we? As I grow older, though, I realize the respect that comes with that refusal, as I also think of my most important teachers in my life still by Mr. or Mrs. It's a sign of respect, and it's a small token for all that they gave to us, even when they didn't need to. I will always be proud to be Mrs. Clifford, and I will never, ever discount the honor it is to always be that in my students' hearts. Thank you.
Let's invite our next honoree to the stage, Karen Engelman.
If you say what you wanna say, and let the words fall out.
Thank you so much. I am truly humbled and grateful to be here. When one of my seniors nominated me last fall, I was honored. The application process required me to reflect on my 15 years in the classroom, realizing the profound impact I have made. I am particularly proud of establishing a successful future teacher pathway at our tiny school. Several of my former students are now preparing to enter the teaching profession. I hope they find as much joy in teaching as I do, and that they become a positive light and a cheerleader in their own classrooms. This entire journey has been very special and fancy. I mean, like, this is fancy, yeah. It was incredible to experience my school and community rallying together, not just to celebrate me, but to recognize the importance of celebrating all teachers. Thank you to the Golden Apple Foundation for choosing me to be a Golden Apple knocker. We're the Apple Knockers, it's our mascot. Okay, yeah, thanks.
And Karen, the paparazzi experience will continue onwards. And let's welcome our next honoree, Tim Auberly.
Good evening, and thank you. Thank you to the Golden Apple Foundation for this honor of honors, and thank you to you all for the privilege of joining you here tonight to accept an honor that means so much. Preparing to stand before you all tonight, I couldn't help but count my blessings. This honor brings pride, triumph, and affirmation, and all the good and wonderful things that come along with this profession that it celebrates, but it overwhelmingly inspires gratitude. Tonight, I've wanted to thank the people who've been a part of my own path through education, from colleagues and principals and professors to the teachers who first welcomed and nurtured my own love of learning. Through every step along my own path, I've been surrounded by mentors and peers who've encouraged me and inspired me through their own examples of excellence. But even before them, I had a big brother and a big sister who used to read to me, who stoked a curiosity and pride in learning in me by involving me with their own interests and offering models of dedication and excellence of their own. I had a dad who never failed to support me, push me, and build me up to find and become the best version of me that I could be. And I had a mom who poured unconditional love into me and helped me recognize that kindness, mercy, and compassion exist because she first embodied those qualities before anyone else. And today, I have a wife who picks me up, comforts me, and encourages me on the heaviest days as well as the lightest. Yes. As teachers, we encounter young people who have such support and more, but we also partner with those who don't. Those who can't yet believe in a just, fair, or loving world because they haven't met enough exemplars of love and care in their own. 4 mornings from now, I'll meet my next 100 or so students, and a lot of them will enter my classroom with hearts and bellies full, but some of them will be waiting for someone to write a little love onto the pages of their lives, to, as Fred Rogers used to say, to love them into being. Until then, yes. Until then, I'll enjoy the chance to reflect on and thank the ones who've loved me into being. And I'll look forward to the next chance that this job gives me to be an author of love and all things good for the next generation. Thank you to you all for sharing in the effort, and thank you for joining me tonight and celebrating it. It's the best job we've ever had.
Tim was being modest. He is already committed to helping us raise the next generation of teachers, and we'll be starting as a mentor with Golden Apple in a couple of weeks. Yes. Okay, so this is a lot of fun, right? Incredible talent, incredible passion all night. Let's meet our next group of recipients.
My name is Victor Hurtado, and I'm the department chair here at SURS.
Victor Hurtado!
I graduated from SURS, went to community college. I was in the bilingual program, and then I got the license to be a teacher at Northeastern. Back in the 90s, we used to have a lot of gangs in the school, a lot of fights, a lot of problems, right? But now things have impacted this community. But it shows that the neighborhood schools are also, they mean something for the community. The AP classes, I always wanted to teach those classes. And it took me 17 years to get through this point. And which is fine, and I'll take it. I feel like I'm prepared for this thing. And I recall having a conversation with Dr. Moran about it, pushing back, listen, we need those classes for the community. We need those classes for the student. We're gonna take the AP test coming up pretty soon, and there's a lot of work to be done in those classes. And that's stuff that I love doing that, because it's a different environment when you are after school with them. And that experience has been one of the most rewarding ones of all the whole process. This award means a lot, but it's also, there's a lot of group of people doing a lot of great things in the community, in the school.
I teach civics and I'm a special education teacher here.
Eddie Mahoney! You are a 2025 recipient of the Golden Apple Award for Excellence.
I remember walking into Lakeview and seeing the banner. I'm like, that's really cool. Like, I work at a school with a Golden Apple winner. And Pooja won it, and I was like, well, that makes sense. Like, she's amazing. And then you see the two banners, and it was just an honor to be able to work at a school with these two teachers who won Golden Apple, and I'm really honored to be continuing that journey. Somebody said, you know, the young people today are not the future, they're right now. And I always try to bring that idea into my classroom, that students know they don't have to wait until they're 18 or can vote or they're an adult. Like, the world is impacting them every single day, and I want them to know how to take action. Just as a teacher in general, but especially a civics teacher, like making education equitable and accessible and making sure that all young people have amazing teachers in front of them, that's where I definitely align with Golden Apple, and I think the Scholars Program definitely does that. I'd love to work with young people who are on that path.
This school is absolutely amazing. Clairwoods Academy serves students with special needs. I teach science and special ed, and English, and reading, and math, sometimes government, civics, health as well. Special education, it has a very high burnout rate. A lot of teachers don't survive beyond 5 years because our students are quite needy. And no matter how much you give, they will always say thank you and may I have some more. And it's the very nature of a disability. I can remember one year having a student at the start of the year. He was surrounded by 5 aides, and every time there's an assembly, because he was trying to kick, bite, punch, or pinch. And by the end of the school year, he was standing on stage without any adults next to him, and they were singing all by themselves without an adult having to be there as a guardian for any unexpected thing. And it just filled me with joy, because knowing that the parents are there and they're seeing their child who has been told they can't, and now they have a moment to see my child can. That's amazing. I'm still adjusting to the idea of being a Golden Apple teacher. We can all make the difference in somebody's life, and this process brought that back to me and reminded me how we can all have a big impact in the people's lives around us.
Let's invite to the stage 2025 Golden Apple Fellow Victor Hurtado.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to want to start by thanking the Golden Apple Foundation for this wonderful recognition, which I am very humbled to accept. I would never thought that I would do this something to achieve this at this point of my life as a bilingual high school math teacher. But here I am. 30 years ago, I came to the States not knowing a single word in English and enrolled at Shores High School, which I graduated from. I was both excited and nervous at the same time due to my limited English skills, as you can tell. Thankfully, with the support of dedicated teachers, not only did I graduate from there, but I was encouraged to attend college and pursue a teaching degree in mathematics. I want to dedicate this award to all the students that I have had over the course of my career, as they have helped me to be a better teacher. I also want to thank my family, especially my wife and daughters, for their endless love and support. To my colleagues, Dr. Moran, thank you for believing in my vision and for trusting me with the AP Calculus bilingual student classes. Finally, I want to thank the one person who always supported me in every dream and goal except for myself. Mom, I think of you every single day and the happy memories we share. I know you're proud of me where you are from. Thank you.
Now let's welcome Kathleen Mahoney, whose surprise was awesome because I was there.
I'm beyond humbled that someone even thought of me just to be nominated, let alone standing here accepting the award tonight. I'm extremely excited to be part of this community in my journey as a teacher, and I look forward to all the opportunities it's going to bring in the rest of my career. At home, I often genuinely joke that I should have been a lawyer when my car breaks down, when the vet bills come in, but the truth is that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, and I can't fathom what life would be like if I weren't an educator. I always admired my teachers and wanted to emulate them when I was growing up, and I would play school in my bedroom with my two best friends, one of whom is here tonight. We played with my Beanie Babies, they were our students, and we had a blast, and here I am. As a little kid, my dad, who's also here, bought me a book on Abraham Lincoln while we were shopping at Dominic's. One day I was really little, and that furthered my love of learning, but sparked my passion for social studies and later politics. I'm so incredibly privileged that I get to do what I do every day, which is what I love, and teach civics, including law, to young people. Likewise, my students have taught me so much about the world and the communities we all share. Every day we see history being made, and it is our young people who give me hope, not just for the future, but for the present. Thank you so much to everyone.
Please welcome 2025 fellow James Rowe to the stage.
Hello. Thank you for this Golden Apple Award. I am honored to receive this. This has been an amazing journey of reflection and introspection. I want to say thank you to the administration and staff at Clare Woods Academy. I honestly feel that I'm just a reflection of the staff as a whole. I am surrounded by so many amazing teachers that inspire me every day. And I see so many great things, examples of teaching and ways to support our students. I also want to thank my teachers and my students and their parents for letting me spend my day having fun and helping students learn how new information and develop skills for life. I think that every teacher and staff member at Clare Woods Academy deserves a Golden Apple Award, as we all work together to provide a nurturing, caring, successful educational experience for our students. I especially want to thank my parents, John and Mary Rowe, for sharing their love of world travel and cultures. They also encouraged me to teach children swimming while I was in high school. I enjoyed it, and while I pursued other fields and jobs, I circled back to teaching. I also want to thank my wife, Pat, and my sons, Garrett and Graham. All the good things in my life stem from my family, and they have spent hours helping me make my classroom a place to spur curiosity and learning. And in fact, we were literally just there this morning, spending time hanging up more taxidermy in the classroom so that the students will have more questions later on. Thank you so very much.
Before I introduce our next set of recipients, I just want to say Aristotle historically said something about excellence being a habit if you practice it over and over, and then Plato argued about it being a virtue. whichever it is, okay, we can see that our final set of recipients exemplify excellence through the art of co-teaching.
When I walked to the door and saw all the people in there, I did see the golden apple sign, and the first thought that came into my head was, you, me, or both. And then when they brought in the gift baskets, two baskets, then I immediately just burst into tears.
So I first was approached about co-teaching. I'd done it before at a separate school, and when I came here, it was like, hey, would you like to co-teach? And my immediate answer was no. Like, I don't want to do it, I don't like it, and I don't think it'll work.
Dylan went to school, and he is a content expert, and I went to school to learn how to teach different kinds of students. And we worked together to find the best ways to teach different kinds of students content, and make the content accessible to everybody.
This is a special relationship. We're both in the classroom, not as like, here, this one teacher does this and this other teacher does that. Like, we're both, on equal footing. And sometimes I feel like students, make sure they come to us, for different reasons, but they know they can come to both of us.
When you put the person first, the working relationship with them, whether they're an adult or whether they're a child, it's just so much easier, and it makes our job so much more fun. This guy has taught me so much about how to be cool with content, and he makes me feel so appreciated for how I am with the students.
If I'm going to talk about teachers who inspired me, well, actually, first, the person to my right here, like, so when I say that, it's like, I'll be honest, I kind of had this sense of like, oh, Dylan, you're this great teacher because you pour so much of yourself into the students. You're a content expert. Like, I had this sense of like, you do a good job, pat on the back. And then I saw her and I was like, yo, there's so much more you could do. There's so much more you could understand. I have to, really, think about all of the black male teachers in my life from elementary all the way, till now, because those are the people who, when I saw them, it's like, okay, well, someone like me can be in those positions and be himself and be myself, and still be in a position to where people understand that I'm here to lead with love and do the best for the students.
I'm so proud to be a scholar. I actually was a part of a PD earlier this year. The leader asked, how many of you ever in college took a class about how to build relationships with students? And I was the only one in there who raised my hand. And I was so proudly able to say that as part of my Golden Apple experience, I had explicit instructions about how to connect with students that don't necessarily like school. That Golden Apple class was a catalyst to all the success in my career. If I were to tell the Golden Apple Foundation anything, it would be first and foremost, thank you.
We know how hard we work, and we don't do it to get noticed, but when someone notices, you're like, oh, thank you. Like, I appreciate that. I also want to say thank you for treating this profession of teaching with the level of expertise that it deserves.
If you can, increase the scholarships, increase the amount of students that you can impact. We have kids who are applying. We know kids who want to go into teaching and would love the opportunity to learn. Golden Apple, you make a huge difference.
Let's welcome Golden Apple Scholar and now Golden Apple Fellow, Elizabeth Dribbin Koshaba.
My parents are public speaking teachers for the last 30 years, and of course, when I got here today, one of the first questions out of my dad's mouth was, did you memorize your speech? The answer was no, but I know my parents are still very proud of me to be up here today. In addition to being a 2025 Golden Apple Fellow, I am a proud 2006 recipient of the Golden Apple Scholarship. That program gave me so many gifts. But one of the most impactful was learning that before I could teach my students anything, I had to learn who they are first. We so often hear cautionary tales about today's kids. They're addicted to their screens, they only care about themselves, I'm worried for the future. But when I put the curriculum aside and began to prioritize how to build face-to-face connections, how to communicate, how to collaborate, and empathize, the content not only fell into place, but I also saw something incredible. I witnessed communities of young people who care deeply for one another, who lead with grace and who compromise with compassion and maturity. I promise you there is no need to fear. The future is very bright. Thank you to my family and friends, my students, my colleagues, my partner in justice, Dylan, my mentors and my teachers. Thanks, Mr. Reed. Hi, he's videotaping over there. And to the teacher who nominated me for the scholarship, who unfortunately by the time I won the award was not able to hear about me winning the award. But this is for her. And thank you so much to the Golden Apple Foundation for your tireless support of exceptional educators. Thank you so much.
And now the other half of that dynamic duo, Dylan Randolph.
All right, hey, first of all, we need to give one more round of applause to Liz, Jib, and Koshaba over there. Half of the dream team right there. And you know, they emailed us and they told us that we need to give a 1-minute speech. And first I was like, that's not enough time. So I'm letting you know I'm going over time. But when they first sent me that emails on my phone, I was sitting on the couch. My oldest son was watching Wild Kratts on PBS. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm struggling to figure out what to say. I don't really know what to say up there. And honestly, I still don't. I got a speech. I'm gonna go slightly off script. But honestly, all of this really has me thinking about the phrase, you good. You know, and as an avid practitioner of Black English, the phrase you good has many meanings. So like, it could be like, you good, like, you know, just checking in with somebody like, hey, it's been a long time, you good? It could be like, you good, like, how have you been, things like that. It could be, you good, like, I forgive you, or we're squared away, I don't need any more change, you good? It can mean, hey, you good, to try to de-escalate a situation. It can mean, you good, like you're trying to escalate a situation. And this is such a powerful phrase, as you can see, we all get it. And I feel like it's a powerful phrase that I feel like I use in my profession a lot as well. So, when a student walks in late, I can be like, hey, you good? When a student doesn't turn in all the work, I can be like, hey, you good? Or when they turn in all the work and get an A, I can be like, hey, you good? So it goes without saying that, I feel great that it was recognized that all of the good I try to give to my students. And however, with this award right here, it might have my name on it, but it would not exist without the people over there at table 7. I don't know if you can do a spotlight or embarrass them or anything like that. Like the people over there, we have my first teachers ever, my parents, my mother and father. You can keep it going too. We have the best support staff. You got my wife, my 2 older sisters, my brother over there. We got the best supervisor and person who kept supporting me over there. You're the best teacher I've ever had in my entire life over there, and the best teacher I've ever seen teach my own 2 eyes, all at one table. That's the dream team right there. Don't give a round of applause for me. You should give a round of applause for them. They're the ones. You did good. You did good. Thank you.
Okay, so let's hear it one more time for our 2025 Golden Apple Fellows for Excellence in Teaching. we're not done yet. We have yet to meet our fellows for excellence in leadership. And who better to introduce them to you than our former leader of the Golden Apple Board, Nancy Northrup, and a former teacher.
I am not to dance in public, so I am good. I am so proud to be up here representing many different angles to the Golden Apple Foundation. Tonight, we will be honoring leaders of the Golden Apple leaders. They are also teachers, and we know that. I was a classroom teacher in early childhood and special education for many years, and I am so grateful for those that led me on the path that I chose. So we thank all of the leaders. A few words about the award. This award, by the choice of the Golden Apple Foundation, was named in honor and memory of my father, Stanley Golder. None of us would be here today without our founder, Mike Koldyke, Mr. Koldyke, who 40 years ago had a vision with his beautiful wife, Pat, that teachers needed to be lauded as if they were movie stars, just like a red carpet with awards and applause. And here we stand today, 40 years later, and someone at one of these tables will be the 400th teacher that we have honored. And it's a very proud moment, and thank you, Mike, for that. So my dad was a leader in every aspect of his life. He was a leader of our family. He was a leader of his faith. And he was a leader in the world of philanthropy. And that led our entire family to stay put with some of the organizations that he helped found as well. And I'm very grateful to have you all here today to celebrate 40 years of the Golden Apple Foundation. So thank you. Now we're going to be sharing a video, if you would turn your attention to the screen again, for our recipients of the Leadership Award.
My name is Emily Feltis. I'm the principal of North Grand High School in Chicago Public Schools. We're a high-performing neighborhood Chicago Public High School. We have a wonderful bilingual program, we have great supports for students with special needs, and we have a variety of high-level college preparatory classes, advanced placement classes, dual college credit classes.
Emily Feltis, a 2025 recipient of the Golden Apple Award for Excellence in Leadership.
I would attribute our success here at North Grand to a variety of factors. Our teachers and all of our staff members are super dedicated to our students from a holistic perspective, so not just caring for their academics, but also for our kids as human beings, as whole people. I also think that having very well-organized systems and structures at the school level contributes to successful academics and successful cultural experiences for kids in a school.
My name is Mike Lascola, and I'm the principal at Everest High School. Everest is a safe alternative environment for students that need to do school different. I have a lot of students that have a lot of high levels of anxiety, and they can't handle the big schools. Passing periods in the lunchroom, it's incredibly difficult for them. I wanted to provide a place for them to go and feel safe. And we talk about that here a lot, that this is a safe place for everybody. I was an art teacher, and there's always those kids that are the art kids. And you know, they identify themselves as being an artist, and they hang out in the art room. And so throughout my career, I've always worked with students that needed a little bit different. They're intelligent students and have a lot of potential. It's just the environment that they're in just doesn't work for them.
The teacher shortage in Illinois is a huge problem for school leaders and for districts. In my particular context, I have a hard time hiring and finding highly qualified bilingual teachers, teachers who are endorsed to teach students with special needs, and also just all across the board in the STEM field. I actually have about 13 to 15 former students who are working here at North Grand, in part to deal with the issue of not having enough highly qualified candidates to work in a school. I thought to myself, well, our kids are amazing. Let's bring them home and have them work in the community that sort of brought them up, and they are incredible.
My staff is incredible. They are very student-centered and trauma-informed, and they put students and their situations above the curriculum. Let's face it, a student's not going to learn if they're not in a good place mentally, and that's the philosophy we work by here. My students, they accept everybody here for whatever their backstory is, and it's great. I haven't had one situation of bullying in 5 years. I want to really thank the Golden Apple Foundation. It was a great way to spread the word, because it put some meat behind my message.
I feel very grateful and humbled to be here today. I will carry this moment with me forever, so thank you to Golden Apple and everyone who participates in that organization.
Please welcome to the stage Emily Feltes.
What up, Golden Apple class of 2025? Give it up for yourselves. I am truly honored and humbled to be here with you tonight among such amazing, transformational educators and our families, friends, and supporters. The Golden Apple family has always been near and dear to my heart. I'm proud to share I was recognized as a teacher of distinction in 2010. Turns out I didn't win the award. I guess maybe I'm a better principal than a teacher. Teaching's really hard, so congratulations to all of you. We've also hosted countless Golden Apple Scholars at my school and have been blessed to do so. The Golden Apple Scholars who come in breathe life into my already thriving classrooms over the summer, and it's always a great experience, so I'm grateful for that. Winning this esteemed leadership award is really meaningful. My last 10 years as a principal has been quite a journey. And I've learned so much, not only about how to create transformative learning experiences for my students, but I've really learned a lot about myself along the way. What I want to say to you is that all kids in all places, have a right and deserve a high quality education. They deserve to be seen. They deserve to be heard, loved, challenged, and prepared to navigate the future. I know all the educators in this room are working hard to foster that reality for our students, and I'm so proud to be even just a small part of this. Thank you to my husband, my family, my dear friends who are here tonight, and my mentors. The reality is, being a teacher and being a principal, we bring so much home with us, and we can be a lot. I'm sure all of our partners and spouses and family members and parents and children and nieces and nephews can attest to that. So if you are a supporter of a teacher or a leader here tonight, I'd like to have you stand up so we can give you your proper flowers and your a proper recognition. Stand up, family members of the people recognized here. The reality is that we could not do this. We could not do this without you, and we would not be us without our communities who support us. And we are only able to continue to do this work with your support. So thank you so much to all of you, and thank you to the Golden Apple Foundation. And I'm just thrilled and delighted to be among such esteemed, wonderful educators. Have a beautiful night, and thank you.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that our very own Alan Mather was the inaugural recipient of the Stanley Golder Leadership Award. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And now I would like to welcome to the stage Mike Lascola.
So you've heard saving the best for last, right? You know what? I think we've proved that wrong tonight, though. I think here tonight, it's the best first to last. So on that day of my surprise visit, I was asked how this award was going to change me. I told them simply, whenever I get the chance, I will use my voice through this award to bring awareness to a group of students that are too often overlooked. So tonight I start on my soapbox. Mental illness, homelessness, loss of a parent, and even questioning who you are. These are no longer just adult struggles. These are affecting our children and our students. And we have students that we hear stories all the time how students here, you're never going to amount to anything. Well, these students are the quiet students that sit in the back of the room, not causing any problems, and telling themselves they're not going to amount to anything. Quite a different problem. We have supports in place for students with disabilities. We offer guidance for students that make poor choices. But we need to remember and support those kids that are quiet in the back of the room. Take time to notice them. Get to know them. I can't overstate how powerful a simple good morning or how's your day going can be. Sometimes that small gesture is the first light someone sees in their darkest moment, and that can change a life. I am in my last year of my career, but I guarantee you that I'm going to take my soapbox with me as I continue on. And I hope all of you take a part of my soapbox with you home. Thank you.
So everyone, this concludes the program for this evening. Usually when I was a principal, at the end of report card pickup, I would say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, but you can hang for a while. In fact, we are going to ask that any member of the Academy who is here tonight to come up for a photo, and then we are going to have the 2025s for the photo. But if we could get every single member of the Academy, Teacher of Distinction, Leader of Distinction, Teacher Fellow, Principal Fellow, come up on stage right now. We would love to see you. So have a lovely evening, and thank you so much for these amazing educators tonight.